Mercy tells a story that is set in the near future, where an advanced AI judge tells a captive detective that he's on trial for the murder of his wife. And if he fails to prove his innocence within 90 minutes, he'll be executed on the spot. Now, that is an inherently interesting premise, especially with how prevalent AI is in our world today. But while that concept is thought-provoking and socially relevant, it's just unfortunate that the movie doesn't do anything interesting with said concept. I mean, the scariest part about this movie is how it's incredibly likely that in the near future, AI technology will be implemented in the judicial system or in branches of government if it hasn't already. But the movie doesn't really delve into that in any kind of meaningful or insightful way. And by the time the story actually ends, it's unclear as to where the movie actually stands on AI technology, because it begins seeming rather anti-AI, but then as the characters grow over the course of the film, they learn to accept that AI can change or even become good. And that made for a strange disconnect between how I felt about AI technology as an audience member and whatever it is that the movie was trying to say. I mean, I may very clearly be against the use of AI, but I think I probably would have respected the movie more if it took a firm stance in saying that actually AI technology is good, because at least then the themes wouldn't feel so weak or wishy-washy. Of course, it doesn't help that the performances are disappointingly stiff, that the setting feels oddly cold and sterile, and that the actual plot itself is rather underwhelming. I like Chris Pratt and I really like Rebecca Ferguson, but I know that they are better than this and that they are capable of delivering better performances than what they deliver here. I know the empty 3D environment was trying to act as some sort of reflection on the use of AI technology, but I don't think it really worked here. Especially considering that since the visual effects weren't all that great, I was just constantly reminded of the fact that Chris Pratt is just acting in an empty room for some reason. And while the plot can be a bit engaging as you're trying to figure out why this detective has been wrongly apprehended in the first place, once the movie starts to twist and you start to figure out what exactly is happening, it suddenly becomes far less engaging. So while the subject matter may be admittedly topical, this is a generic action movie that feels like it would have been dated even back in 2014. Sure, the use of AI technology may currently be relevant, but there are plenty of other sci-fi movies that tell similar stories that are just way more interesting than this one. So the nicest thing I could probably say about the movie is that it does feature some inherently interesting concepts. Hell, I even think the drone-like motorcycle thing is pretty cool, but it is a shame that the movie doesn't really do anything interesting with these concepts. Which means that while I did try to watch this movie with an open mind, Mercy would probably not get a recommendation from me. But be sure to let me know what you thought of the film. And, as always, thanks for watching.